What's up, baby dolls? Welcoming you back to crypto's juiciest news. BTC, $120,000, but we're still waiting for the altcoins, aren't we, friends? BTC starting to recover up. I've got a lot of cracking news coming your way. We're going to speak about the RobinHood CEO tokenizing the whole world, cryptocurrency, TradFi, aka the Cuck Mercantile Exchange. Are they really going to do 24/7 trading? We've got some commentary from our favorite bear, Arthur Gaze. We're going to speak about Tether, the Trump family, all of that coming your way and more. But first, BTC's monthly candle. I always start with the monthly candle here for you, friends. 120,000 American dollars. See us starting to charge up. That means it's bull mode for everyone out here. We're starting to move up. Hopefully in this next wave, the business cycle starts to crank alongside everything else too. But right now, it's just BTC starting to move up along the way. What I'll now do as well, friends, I have a new chart here just to show you. These are not secret indicators or anything. So I basically have daily levels, previous day high and low, previous week high and low, and previous month high and low. The big yellow ones are the months. These are like giant levels. And then the weeks are also pretty cracker levels as well. And then the dailies, you can see they don't really mean much if you go around. So when you're looking at it now, you can see Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin, friends, the previous monthly high was $118,000 around here, and you can see we've just thrashed up through it. There was actually a guy here. I felt a bit slack. I tried to help some dude just on Twitter. He took like $1 million loss shorting Bitcoin. I'm sure he's doing well. He's okay. That's a 50 or 60% wipeout. So maybe he had built up an entire account of like 2 million, which is awesome, right? But he just like 1 million slapped, and he just took himself out. But you got to think, friends, like if he didn't decide to take himself out, you know what I mean? If he kept adding to this position and Bitcoin just pings up to 125K, he's like lost everything now, okay? But yeah, just to let you know, when crypto, when it thrusts through like monthly levels are like huge, right? When it thrusts through them, I mean, like watch out, literally watch out. Okay, you need like an immediate fake out if you really want to survive it. Weeklies are huge as well. Look, we just bust through the weekly, bust through the monthly. So here we are right now as well. We can also see on Ethereum, friends, Ethereum starting to move up as well. I can just quickly show you Ethereum. This was its weekly level, but Ethereum's monthly is up all the way at like 4,700, and even before that, 4,950. So hopefully this is what happens here. This is what you could do. Like, you know, you do the break and retest. It's around the monthly level here. You could get long here if you want, put a little stop Roonies. Hopefully the next zone it gets to face resistance is anywhere from, you know, 4,600 to 4,700. And hopefully we just eventually throughout October, we're able to like thrust up here, and then we can hopefully look for higher friendship. That's pretty much it just on the short run. But having a look at the bigger time frame as well, if you look at Ethereum's doing great. You know what I mean? This is friends. If you are like sidelined, let's say you're like totally sidelined in crypto and like you just want to trade, this was it. This Ethereum wedge, this was your candle to get in. You had to buy in September, and like, well, you pretty much got to buy now. And then I guess what you do is, if the Ethereum drops 20%, you're all out. That's 3,500. Okay, so you're risking minus 20%. Okay, minus 20%. This is for like a trader. And then I guess you're hoping it goes like all the way. Let's just go to the friendship zone. Anywhere from maybe 40 or 60%. 60% will take you up to 7,200. Actually, it's a macro fib. So that might be it. So that'd be plus 60%. Otherwise known as, friends, you're risking 1 and you're trying to make plus 3. Yeah, but the thing is as well, right, when you're doing leverage and all these other stuff. So if it actually does go down here, yeah, you don't have to, if you're in spot, you don't have to take a loss. You know what I mean? You can just keep adding to the position and you just like screw it. And you just hope that it eventually comes around. That's what makes it tough for everyone out here. People do incorrect sizing and everything out here. That's why, friends, 99% of people are just not profitable after 12 months. And they totally regret it. Like if you're in a leverage position in Ethereum, like you have to get out something. You have to get out at the two or three reward units. You know what I mean? Like see how like you're so short time, you can't even think about, oh, what about if it goes to 9,000? Because here's the thing. Let's say Ethereum in the next few months, let's say we do ping to like 7,200. Okay, what will actually kill them is if we have some sort of like that. We come back down and this person's like, oh no, I've round tripped. I'm scared that we're going to like sink down lower. But actually maybe what Ethereum comes back is it comes back for some sort of friendship run. You see what I mean? You can't think straight if you over leverage. And actually what happens is as well, as we go up, people keep piling on the longs even higher. So, and you never know what how deep of a liquidation can happen. You know what you don't know what the exchanges are going to do or who's over leveraged. So you don't want to play that game at all. We're looking at the ETH-BTC ratio. Here we have 0.037. We're still screwing around here. The spot ETF was at 0.055, so we've got quite a while to go. It's been pretty much horrific all around. However, Bitcoin is finally starting to thrust up. That's great. We even have things like ChainLink, friends, still not moving, still down against Ethereum, which is trash. Hopefully, ChainLink can start to rise up 5, 6, 7x against Ethereum. And remember, if you're holding XRP, ChainLink's got the tech, but, you know, Link Marines are there. It's kind of funny, but we have XRP Army as well. So Chainlink is very low against XRP. You would just assume this thing flips somehow, somewhere. I don't know how this happens. You never know. Maybe this happens actually in the next, maybe does some sort of spike up, comes back down. Maybe in the next cycle, it actually flips it. Because Swift have chosen to build on Ethereum. They're not, because that's what XRP talking points, I guess. But it doesn't matter. You have an army. You have an army, and that's the most important part. We have an army of friendship. That's what we need here in this game. This is the Ethereum Anti-Semetic Box. We're starting, look at this, the big reversal up here. That's nice to see. This is all scam manipulation. Hopefully we come on through and we just literally just charge through. You can see, friends, all these levels, 4,700, like there's just giant levels, 4,700 to 4,900. This box, okay? I would love us to go through and then we just go snap. That would be great. And then we just have like this one candle where just like doji's up. That's what we want to see. So we go up, we just have that, you know, that one candle, friends, where, you know, there'll be a wick, maybe like it comes up, comes back down, and then like does the indecision candle. Maybe like something like that, bank. And then that's pretty much it. That's like the juice ready to go for the next leg. The like starts to accelerate. We've been waiting a very long time for, like a very, very long time. What's actually happened before is we never even got that doji thing. Ethereum will just literally start closing lows. And then it was pretty much rejecting each time. We have the Bitcoin dominance here. Remember, Bitcoin dominance is still extremely high compared to even where it was in January 2024. In my opinion, and my opinion means nothing, like, man, it's got to come back. To me, base levels back to like a 52%. And everyone's going to say, oh, it's doing great, it's doing great. Nah, to me, that's base level. To me, like, here's the thing, friends. You want to get out when like altcoins are expensive versus Bitcoin, or Bitcoin's cheap. Where do you think Bitcoin is cheap on this chart? You know what I mean? Like, I feel like maybe actually we do see some sort of come back down. Everyone thinks it's over. And then we have the double bubble. Maybe Bitcoin dominance comes back to like 45%. And then if I was to guess, this is totally my guess, the next bear market is actually quite shallow because we have too many people who hate altcoins for the past few years. And then actually maybe in 2028, ETH-BTC goes to 0.10, and then maybe it starts to actually move on towards the lower direction out here, which would be crypto industry growing, and it would be people adding more market cap and storing value in other things besides BTC. You and I deserve some Pumpy G music, which you shall receive, my friends. So, just to give you an idea of how long the pain has been, friends, this is one of my charts. You see this red box? That was the previous 4-year cycle. You see, that was a previous 4-year cycle. And then this is where altcoin season's meant to happen. It was meant to happen pretty much, if you go by time, yeah, by February this year, we're meant to be all over. If you do like a 3.8 year cycle, and look how far we've gone. It's just literally we've had all this time, altcoins are still not moving. I know it doesn't look much on this chart, but when you're like expecting, like you go through all this pain, you're expecting good things to happen, and you're still going through the pain. You just don't know how long it's going to go for. But I continue to hold because, like, you know, the things are very, very, very cheap all across the board. Unfortunately, PulseChain, I guess whoever's manipulating the price has been taking the piss out of everyone. It's still continuing to dump horrifically. Maybe to make it look good better later, whatever. Make things go up. I don't know. Just waiting around. But I just got to remind you as well, these little day-to-day things, all they would do is serve some dopamine for you, because the prices of PulseChain, where you would even, like, you know, you can decide what you want to do, but like, PulseChain, friends, is like now 13x away from break even. So like the 4.5x stack price. So like, as far as I'm concerned, I don't have any interest in caring about what happens here. By the way, this is now back to break even from 4 years ago, 4 or 5x stack price. So maybe the next phase will start quite soon. Who knows in that department? Everybody is frustrated. It doesn't matter what all the coins correlated and everything out here. Everything's still down 99%. It really does make you think what's going to happen in the next cycle. Because I don't know a single person who will probably want to hold any altcoin, not just Richard Hart coins, but any altcoin. No one wants to hold any altcoin in any bear market. That's probably why you have a lot of people as well just maybe finding it hard to enter crypto. Okay, that's another thing to think about, because everyone knows these things are all just complete dog shit poops. But, you know, we'll see what happens. You know, if there's a PDI prophecy and that's $1, okay, that's one thing people can take profit into. But yes, traditionally it's always been 50% BTC, 50% Bitcoin, 50% USD, sorry. If you look at, friends, this is the Pulse to Soy ratio. Remember, this thing is down. So PulseChain is down literally since Solana launched. It's down 99%. Yeah, man, you're literally absolutely terminated. But like most coins look like that against a Sol chart, because Sol did a huge run up. But it's kind of funny. Like you see this, and that's, people are like still, they're like, no, I still want to be long soy. So that's actually what happened if you look at the end of 2024. If you do the ratio charts of many things that ran up, like if you looked at ChainLink versus everything else, all their charts, you know, so everything else versus ChainLink would have been like a huge downward spiral as well, until you would have finally got that 2021 season. Everybody's talking about ZeCash now. This is the real ZeCash chart. This is the actual ZeCash BTC chart. This is literally what everyone is talking about. I'm not even joking. Wow, ZeCash went up. But if you look at the USD chart, I actually show you what it looks like here. Or just put some cute levels as well. So ZeCash, friends, as well. Why is it big, Rob? Let's put on a 4-hour chart just so you can see this huge monster move. So this was its previous monthly high. See what happens? It comes back through. Here's some weeklies. It closes up on a month, and then it literally snaps up the previous monthly high, which is absolutely huge. Just like this is enormous. And it's funny, it actually did this level break just at the end of September. So it closed on the high in September, and then it just literally rocketed up again. Oh man, this is such a huge move. My gosh, 200%, such a short amount of time. It's all about privacy, friends. Remember, I already did a lot of content on privacy in 2023 because I wanted to know myself. I was like, hey, I know privacy is useful, but why don't the coins pump? That's why I figured this out in 2022. But I started making videos in 2023 about it. And pretty much when it comes to privacy, friends, we like using privacy as a utility. Nobody really wants to store value in privacy. That's like conceptually what it is when it comes to that. You know, you don't mind it being on the Bitcoin network, even though it's a bit public because of the first mover effect. That's what it comes down to. But when it comes to transactions, people might want to use privacy, but yeah, that doesn't pump the coins. No matter what they do, they try to do a buy and burn. But yeah, privacy is, friends, everything's going to have privacy. So it's kind of like would you invest in a company just because they allow email? Now email is like a commodity. There's like, you know, there's heaps of email services you can get. Do you know what I mean? That's what privacy kind of is. It's like giving everybody the right to do something. But ZCash has got some own little cute, their own interpretation of some zero knowledge proofs. They try to quote Satoshi and stuff out here. ZCash have a bit of trans rage as well. So this is a real post. Okay, this is not fake. This is actually real. You can watch the video. This is actually real. It is, yes, it's some trans rage. Privacy allows people to think freely. There's space inside your head where you can basically think however you want to be, fairly confident that no one is reading your mind. You can reason about the world and reason about what should happen in the world. So yeah, it reminds me, friends. It's so striking. It's a relic of 2024. It's a relic of 2024. Now, remember, friends, remember, we're not here to judge anybody. Okay, we don't put anyone down. Okay, but it's just striking now. I can't believe like for like those 4 years. It was actually before that. That was just like everywhere, and now I'm like, man, this looks different. It looks a bit. Do you know what I mean? Like it's sticking out a bit. It's sticking out. But here's the thing as well, friends. You guys got some funny comments. I would want to know what they're thinking. So, it is pretty funny. You gotta understand. It's unique. It's unique, you know. But it really does take me back. It takes me back to what the world kind of used to look like a bit. You know, we still got the deep state, you know, insiders versus outsiders, but how humanity and culture changes over time. I know everyone laughs at things that keep changing. The Zoomer kids are cool. They're saying like, oh, we got auras now. I got an aura. Money isn't real. And they've always got like, high-pitched voices because they're on puberty blockers from their parents and stuff out here. But then they're going to get, then the one after that, you have generation beta. So we don't know what they're going to all turn out to be. So each generation has its own kind of cultural flair, if you get what I'm saying. But there's a common theme, which I want to tell you. Everybody's going digital. Crypto is digital. Everyone is adopting it. Okay, that's what. So you got to think about this. This is it, friends. I don't know. It always comes back down to it because this is it. This is our game. This is our edge. Whether it's blue versus red, conservative, liberal, left, right, doesn't matter. Okay. People thinking about how they push culture forward for humanity. I mean, it's a great endeavor. We love watching from the sidelines. Just 99.999% of people trying to involve themselves in it, you're just totally wasting your time. You're irrelevant. No one's going to remember you. Anyway, no one reads your stuff. And if people do communicate with you, usually from the other camp, they're actually just looking for a fight. They don't actually care about you. It's just that you're like a body bag they can just lay into, right? Physically and mentally and spiritually and everything. They just want to just have some mental debates and stuff out here, right? So the way I see it is like, it makes no sense wasting your time picket fencing to do all that. Why don't you just figure out the big financial monetary system scam, how they're debasing you at 8% per year and telling you that the inflation's only 3%, which is a load of BS. And then you can improve your own financial situation. And then you can actually get your own fluffy microphone. And if you really want to spend your precious hours on Earth yelling into cyberspace about other people and how much you hate them and stuff, go for it. But right now you can't really do it too much. You got to work for someone. So that's the way I see it. You got to play it logical. That's actually the best way forward. And what you actually find, this is, it's just kind of like this is a part of the journey in the process. When you see the amount of effort it takes, and you actually get there, okay, you start to look at everyone else and be like, oh, wow, I don't have enough time to waste arguing with people anymore because of the journey, the trials and the tribulations that we went through just to get a freaking altcoin pump. Remember, friends, as well, it's all about the business cycle, yeah? And we've had 35 months poop of the ISM. This is OTHERS-btc, still garbage. Now we're waiting and waiting and waiting forever. We have good news though. We check out Mr. Racist Russell 2000. Let's see if he's being continually racist. He is being still racist, friends, but he's grinding up towards a high. It's like he's ready to go. He's like really ready to go. But we said this freaking 4 years, bro. You've been ready to go. So here he is right towards all-time high. Hopefully starts to bust up and we have business ISM starting to move up. And hopefully it just does something like this, maybe for 2026. And it doesn't screw around too much because that's actually what it does. It just goes up, it just starts grinding up to the high and becomes on autopilot as well. I have good news if you are smelly and you enjoy doing a poop, because a smelly poop 500 made a new all-time high again. This is it, 6,700. Wow, it's literally accelerating. But it's a bit of a magic trick because the money debasement is about 8% per year, so it's actually artificially making the price go up. Yeah, it's the same effect as if I made orange juice cost $1,000 and then I give you $1,000 bonus at work. You didn't really get richer, did you? Okay, I just gave you one orange juice worth. It's the same equivalent there. However, just to let you know, friends, S&P 500 is being powered by AI, artificial intelligence. The investments in it are freaking huge. The only time the US economy of the world has ever seen investments to the billions of dollars that we've seen in infrastructure like this, the last time we saw it was trains. Actually, trains. Okay, you love trains. I love trains. Trains are sexy. We love them. The way they rattle, the way they take you from place A to B. There's always a homeless guy pissing his pants in the corner. Trains are cool. So trains, fans, and railroads all around America to transport stuff. Someone wants to send their squeaky chair over to their other cousin who lives all the way across Arizona or somewhere else in Americana from where they live. This is, those are building blocks of the Industrial Revolution, and they're investing that same amount of dollars into AI. Doesn't necessarily mean it's going to all work out, like you don't know. But when you see Microsoft and Facebook and everyone else out here throwing money in, it's just telling us it's the future. Now, RobinHood CEO Vlad Tenev says tokenization is an unstoppable freight train set to become the default for global stock access and reshape the financial system. So tokenization, friends, is huge. I'm just going to show you Vlad as well. Here is Vlad as well. So tokenization, friends, it's the next thing. And we're already tokenizing like your bank account, which is just stable coins. That's like the first thing that we do. But then usually you might move into a bit of, we do a bit of real estate, we do a bit of this, a bit of that, a bit of selling stuff. It's basically accessing liquidity. That's the most important part. When you tokenize stuff, you basically can just take the real world items and let you and I look them up on a marketplace on the internet and see what they're worth and trade them. So like you and I, friends, like you could buy access to, say, real estate in New York if you really wanted to. You could get access into the stuff like that, right? Right now, you got to go through ETFs and people set up stuff, but that'll be the new frontier of everything out here. But right now, it's all about StableCoin SuperCycle, right? All of it's about StableCoin SuperCycle because, before you remember, all these big ticket items, they're not actually worth anything until you get the mass population in. The mass population are poor, all they have is cash in their bank account, and if you can get them stable coins, earn them a bit of yield, and then they can send money internationally, you don't have to worry about stuff, and then you can start, airdropping them some stuff. Man, that'd be great. Man, you got to think about the power of this, where if people have public addresses and they have a stablecoin wallet, and then, people could literally airdrop people money that they've never seen before. You know what I mean? Like they're literally just airdropping money into their bank account. That'd be the equivalent out here. It doesn't take much to get them excited. Like if you knew a cohort of people from Philippines or something out here, you imagine just airdropping a lot of people just like $5, $10. You just make them. It's a new frontier. Your bank's not doing that. You know what I mean? So all these other advantages we can do all through the power of smart contracts. The Cuck Mercantile Group, so the CME Group, is going to offer 24/7 trading for crypto futures and options starting early 2026. Wow, absolute bangers. Wow. Do you remember, friends, I've been speaking about this. Man, it's been over a year now. I said, look, we're beating TradFi. We're winning. TradFi want to copy us. They're the ones who want to extend the trading hours. They're the ones who want to start moving into trading weekends. They are the ones who want to start offering this stuff. I guarantee, friends, they're eventually going to offer the perpetual swaps because no one wants to do this shitty rolling and up and down and this and that. We don't care about that stuff. Give us 24/7 gambling. That's what we demand. The people demand this. Obviously, don't do it. 99% of people lose. Okay? But this would be great, man, that'd be awesome, friends. If they do 24/7 trading for crypto trading future, man, that'd be so nice because, DEXs, friends, you got to understand. Now, DEXs, what we have in crypto, you could also list stock market indices. They could just track the prices like an oracle. And then you can have weekend trading, which is you be careful what you wish for. But you have weekend trading, you can trade the big stocks. You introduce oil. All these other things that just come. Now, you might say, but Shami, they're not as good as crypto. I know, but it's not about that. It's just that you bring the eyeballs and the volume and the people there to just look at a big subset of things, right? That's what you want. Okay, that'd be fantastic. That's the future. Also, another thing I'd be curious, if you're a trader, if you trade, say, crypto, the next logical step, if you're going to go to TradFi, it makes sense to trade the currency pairs, dollar yen, the euro yen, the different currency pairs out here. I'm not sure if they'd move on weekends, but right now, friends, you'd be surprised just how little these trading hours actually go because we have heart attacks on Sunday nights all the time and weekends. So I don't know how in this TradFi world, man, we're beating them. We're moving them in. Arthur Gay's friends, our favorite gay bear. Here he is out here on some stage. Got some upside down glasses. I hope this isn't soy milk because Arthur Gaze, he says Bitcoin could reach $3.2 million by 2028. He goes, my model isn't prediction, it's math. Now, I just want to quickly let you know, in every news channel that posted this news item by Arthur Hayes, all of them had 100 plus clown emoji reactions, and it was the highest emoji reaction. Not the thumbs up or the love heart or the fire, it's the clown face. So a lot of people just see, because friends, Arthur's controversial. Why? It's not just for the BitMEX stuff, okay? It's controversial because Arthur, whenever he posts, he dumps. So he's just like, oh, really, really bullish. He just posted on ZeCash. Just let you know, he just posted on ZeCash, and then we're wondering, oh, is he actually selling up here? Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised, friends. Look how fast this thing that just no one's using just thrusted up here. Yeah, it could be selling here. What you're usually looking for, if crypto or Ethereum does a move like that, usually the first move like this is like a bull flag where everyone thinks it's over. And then the real move after that happens after that. It's actually a bigger move. And then it's all over. And then you come back into this zone here in the bear market, but then deep in the bear market, actually it crashes below. That's usually the structure, price structure wise, what usually happens in the bull market. Just be careful about, you know, shorting and stuff in a bull market. That's all I'm saying. Here we have as well, friends, Tether. Tether's going to launch another stablecoin, right? USAT. So they don't have USDT for America. They have USAT. And it's they're going to launch it on Rumble as it seeks to capture US market share. So the USAT, that's the Tether, $1 that gives you no yield. Don't know why anybody want to touch that junk, but apparently some people do. Some people just, you know, blue pill cucks, friends. They just love sitting on a hotel cuck chair. They have different standards for America because they need higher and deeper auditing requirements for you to do that. But remember, friends, Tether, one of the biggest market caps in crypto. So isn't it interesting, right? If you look at the crypto cycles, okay, check this out. This is what we've done in crypto. Okay, so the first thing was the Bitcoin run. Okay, the first thing was Bitcoin. Bitcoin's rank 1. The first cycle was everybody trying to make another Bitcoin. Yeah, and everything literally did 500x's to 1000x. Not even joking. And they're not even listed anymore. Everything literally everything. So Bitcoin, so you had like, you know, Litecoin and everything out here, even Doge from the start. So the first themes was we got Bitcoin. Oh, let's try fork Bitcoin, see what happens. We make like different forms of Bitcoin. That was a store of value, right? Bitcoin solidified itself. Okay, now the next thing is Ethereum. So then in cycle number 2, which was from 2015 to 2017, we had Ethereum comes out into the world. It's a layer 1 smart contract platform. Okay, and everyone else tried to copy it too. That was what happened that cycle, and then it bled into 2021. Everyone releases their own smart contract layer 1 platform. Okay, so it's interesting, right? So Bitcoin solidified. No one tries to take it out anymore. Then there's Ethereum comes in. Everyone's trying to, like, you know, fight for the reins in that. Now Ethereum and the smart layer 1 contract platform, it's pretty much exhausted. Like now companies just do it, but there's no real juice there left for new projects to come and start up. If they're trying to make a quick buck, pretty much there's not enough demand there. You actually got to be like a real company and everything out here trying to. So what actually happens next, friends? Now we're in stablecoin supercycle. See Tether? Tether is here. So you can see, if you look at the biggest market cap stuff in crypto, everyone, they're like so big that they're, this is a bit of survivorship bias, right? But everybody's trying to see what they can grab in terms of the market share and the growth here. So I guess the next big one is stablecoin SuperCycle. That's what I guess what we're betting on is hopefully PulseChain. Every chain has its own native stablecoin. That'll be big, and it'll probably bleed into the next cycle a bit as well. But the next cycle there'll be something else. I don't know what that something else is going to be, friends. I don't know, because if you look at the rest of the market caps, you just have XRP, which is just a giant big cult. You have BNB and Exchange. And so just looking on through, we have Solana as well, smart contract platform, another stablecoin. Doge just a full-on meme. Right, so there's nothing else new, friends. There's actually nothing new. That's why this cycle, we actually haven't made anything new. But you might go down and go, oh, but something, there's Hyperliquid. What if Hyperliquid shoots up? Yeah, perp dexes aren't new though, okay? And perp dexes as well, it's like everybody can just copy paste it, right? You don't need to go on like, Hyperliquid's awesome. You don't need to just go on there. Like, you know, Uniswap could just go offer them for them. Everyone just they can make their own very, very easily. Because it's very hard to differentiate yourself in that, right? Because it's pretty much just a casino. You got to make it like really advantageous for people to come and trade at your casino. Because remember, they're losing money. Yeah, most people are losing money. So you got to, what are you going to offer them? Okay, like that's why it's easy for, like, you know, it's easy for wallets or other institutions. They just offer this stuff because people are, the trading is a side stuff, okay? But yeah, if you could figure out what the next thing's going to be, I don't know, but we don't need to actually figure out what the next thing's going to be. It's probably in the next cycle. This seems like to be stablecoin supercycle, right? You can see Tether growing. The total market cap of Tether is like 170 billion or whatever, but the total for stablecoins is 290 billion. Okay, so even if you want to think about it like that, friends, 290 billion. I mean, look at Ethereum's 540, and then you have Solana 126. You know what I mean? So imagine like we did get to see like $1 trillion of stablecoins minted total in the next, you know, 1 or 2 years. That's huge, right? And that's why there's going to be, I guess, a big narrative play when it comes to that department. We have World Liberty Finance's co-founder Zach Witkoff plans to tokenize the Trump family real estate portfolio, including Trump Tower, to widen access to investors. So, translation. Okay, let me translate that for you. Translation. We're going to tokenize stuff that we can't really sell by itself, and then we're going to try offer it to the market and sell it for higher. That's what it is, you know. So that's pretty much in a nutshell what it is. I guess we'll see how that turns out. Once again, tokenization and everything, that's the future. President Pump says he's considering a $1,000 to $2,000 stimulus check for all taxpayers using tariff revenue. I don't know if it's all talk, but they have the US midterms coming in next year. So maybe he really will have to do that because he can't get elected after that. Okay, because he has to. They've got to change, right? Because of the US Constitution term, he can only serve 2 terms. So maybe he's going to blow it on for next year. But what does that mean, man? Does that mean we're going to run? Are we going to top out next year? Maybe we do top out next year. There's a lot of things that we just don't know how it's all going to play out. We're all just waiting to see, you know, if we're going to get some sort of resolution with his business cycle. Because right now it's just been going on forever and ever and ever, all the way down to Poopy Town. So everyone in crypto Twitter and everyone else out here is still in full cope mode altogether. Some people, friends, there's always a couple of people there cherry picking a few coins, thinking that it's all going to turn out great just for them and nobody else. But ultimately, all we can do is just waiting and riding along, say, with his weekly super trend. This is BTC. Everyone expects this, by the way. So I'm just going to leave this up for a while. Everyone expects we're going up and then literally finishing off. It's all over for next year. Okay. So I don't know what it's going to play out to be. But, okay, you don't really need to know how it plays out. You just got to wait. That's the game, right? I don't. If I look for the next year, fans, even if the world economy and everything's garbage, I'm not concerned with altcoins at all because we just have strong hands. Yeah, it'll be pissed off because you want it to go up, but you have strong hands anyway. You know what I mean? Doesn't mean they don't sell, but you just like, how much further can we go? You know what I mean? You've survived freaking horrific 5 years already. You see what I mean? It's when there is a high ratio of weak hands in that we got to start to ask questions, but they are nowhere to be found yet. Like, subscribe, belly button, or catch you in the next one.